August 4th, 2016. What a strange thing to admit. I guess there could be worse problems, like peeing the bed or wet dreams. But still, it's not something I am proud of. It started when I was a kid. I like to think it's a pretty common occurrence among children. 1 second you're enjoying your dream, the next, bonk. Suddenly your head hurts, you're crying, and you have no idea why. About 20 seconds later, mom is in the room, wondering what happened. Then before you know it, you're back in your bed, fast asleep. Then eventually, you grow out of it, just like you grow out of other embarrassing accidents that happen when you're young. Except when you don't grow out of it, because inevitably, I didn't. Now here I am, a 22-year-old college grad who still falls out of the bed at night. I wouldn't consider myself a wild dreamer, nothing out of the ordinary. Sometimes I'm not even dreaming, I just feel that same bunk I have always felt growing up. I don't cry anymore. Could you imagine? Instead, I just get up, make my way back to bed, and wonder when I will finally outgrow this. Although, secretly, I know I likely never will. Maybe it's stress. Nobody warned me my first year out of college would be this rough. Juggling a breakup and a difficult job search has been taking a mental toll on me. Plus, living with my parents hasn't been easy. The only reason I am even writing this down is because I plan on telling my psychologist when I see him tomorrow. I like to get my thoughts on paper, especially when they're this fresh. He's a good guy. I don't know why I haven't told him sooner. I guess I never really saw it as that big a deal. But my head still hurts from my tumble last night. I think it's time I finally tell someone my secret. August 5th, 2016. I told him, and he reacted basically like I thought he would. Just a little smirk, but not in a mocking way. He told me to establish my bedtime routine and stay off my phone an hour before bed. He mentioned something else I found interesting. He said something like, make your room an oasis, make your bed every day, make going to sleep at night something you always look forward to. Fair enough. So that begins tonight. No more scrolling past 10 p.m. or so. If anything, it'll be better for my mental health. I'll even clean my room. Why the hell not? It'll make my dad happy for once. Pick up your pants and close your goddamn closet. His voice still rings in my head. From yelling at me to study for the SAT to yelling at me for having an untidy closet, nothing is ever good enough. Maybe that'll change once I clean my room. Maybe I will get through the night without falling out of my bed. August 6th, 2016. Well, so much for that. It was worth a shot, at least. If anything, I did feel slightly less stressed not scrolling through social media, and it felt pretty good cleaning my room. Dad walked in and said, well, look who's finally taking care of his room. And I don't know why, but that single comment made me want to stop. But I didn't. I was committed. And yet, I still rolled right out of bed. It's okay though. I really had to pee. When I get back, I noticed something strange. My closet. Is it open? I guess I forgot to close it. It's just, well, that's the one thing my dad is such a pain in the ass about. So you'd think I would take care of it. So what was it doing open? Did I open it in my sleep? Is that even possible? You know, I think I'm just going to head back to bed. My head hurts. August 10th, 2016. Again? Alright, this is a little strange. When I first started writing these entries, I would fall out, I don't know, once every other month. But now, it's only been a few days. I can't believe this shit is getting worse. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm still lying on the hardwood floor of my room. I don't even want to get up. Maybe I will just spend the night here. That way, there's nowhere else to fall. Yeah, maybe not. The floor creaks as I get up. The house must be ancient. There is a creak with each step I take back to my bed. I make it to my bed and rest my head on the pillow. It was still in pain from when I fell a few nights back, but now it's even worse. Just as I feel myself starting to doze off, I hear it. I burst awake and stare around my room. Nothing. At least the closet door stayed closed this time. For a second, I was starting to get nervous. I don't really believe in ghosts or anything like that, but it's still creepy. Maybe if the house wasn't so old. Hell, maybe I even dreamt it. I'm still super tired, and yet, right as I start to fall asleep, I pick my head up again. Still, nothing. Right as I begin to lower my head to my pillow, something catches my eye. My closet. Is it? I fell back to sleep. August 13th, 2016. No bunk this time. I made it through the night, so that should be a good thing, right? Except I'm in pain. My head is still throbbing from the past few times I fell out of the bed. Why? I have no idea, but it sucks, I can tell you that much. I told my psychologist about the strange occurrences I had been experiencing. He laughed it off and said something along the lines of, "So this is what happens when you finally stop using your phone at night." Typical boomer thing to say, but he's not even wrong. I'm not the kind of person who overreacts. I feel like I've made that relatively clear thus far, and yet something doesn't seem right. It's almost as if one thing a night is ever so slightly out of place. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm about as absent-minded as it gets, so it could all be in my head. Maybe I am misplacing things. It's just, with what has happened the past few nights, it seems like at this point, it's not a coincidence. Maybe I just need to lay off the horror movies. To be safe, I cleaned and organized my room. As a matter of fact, I've been doing that every night. It's almost like the more I clean things up, the more things in my room just don't seem right. I mean, even my dad is starting to get concerned. Just now, as I am cleaning all the shit yet again, he said, "You know, Trevor, you don't need to clean every night." How ironic. Never in a million years would I expect to hear those words from my dad. But after all, these have been strange days. August 14th, 2016. Ouch! This time, the blankets came off with me. It's still on my face when I suddenly hear it. I struggle for a second, then manage to pull the covers over my head. All of my little figurines and books on my dresser are now on the floor. Some are broken. How? I frantically look around. I open my closet. And yes, I look under my bed. There is nothing. Nobody. I am alone in my room. But that's impossible. I would be lying if I said I wasn't terrified. I just pull the covers over my head and try to fall back asleep. That's when I hear footsteps outside my room. I am about to reach full-on panic mode when I suddenly hear my mom's voice. "Trevor, are you alright?" Yeah, I call out. Some things fell, but that's it. No response from my mother. I look up at my door and see the handle start to turn, then stop. "Mom?" No answer. So I do it. I get out of bed and make my way over to my door. I take a deep breath, put my hand on the door handle, turn, and open. There is nobody there. So I do something I haven't done in maybe 10 years. I quickly make my way over to my parents' room, knock, and open. They're beyond passed out. My mother, she's as asleep as it gets. There's a cool breeze that brushes my neck, almost as though someone is ever so slightly laughing. I quickly turn around, and there is nothing there. Again, I am alone. So, petrified as can be, I head back to bed. August 21st, 2016. It's been a few days since my last fall, but I can feel myself changing. I am anxious all the time. My hands are shaking as I write this. I feel like I am hearing things. I am reliving those nights I fell. I can feel that cool air on my neck. I can hear my mother's voice on the other side of my door, or whoever it was. Worst of all, I haven't been able to speak to my psychologist in several days, as he's away on vacation, and maybe that's what I need. I haven't bothered telling my folks about any of this. I don't think they would understand. They probably wouldn't even believe me. Mom, I think our house is haunted. I'm laughing even thinking that. Perhaps a better assessment would be, Mom, I think I'm losing my fucking mind. Two things could be true at once. If one thing has stayed consistent, it's my neuroticism with cleaning. It is as if things can never be clean enough. I will dust, then dust again. Sweep, then sweep again. But most importantly, I organize and close my closet door. All I need is a good night's sleep, and in the morning, I'll feel better. August 22nd, 2016. Something is different this time. Somehow, I ended up at the foot of my bed. How was that even possible? I couldn't have rolled off. I must have been... No. Stop. Nobody pulled me off. There is nobody in the room with me. There is nobody in the room with me. There is nobody... My eyes dart to my closet, which is where the noise came from. I'm too scared to take a closer look, but I force myself to do so. As I approach my closet, I can see it's trashed. I didn't do this. Someone else did. As I take a step closer, I feel something touch my back. Before I can turn and look, it pushes me into the closet and closes the door. Help! I scream. I try to open the door, but my efforts are in vain. I keep fighting with the door to no avail. At this point, yes, I am crying. I just want to be left alone. I stop fussing with the door and listen to see if I can hear anything. My heart jumps with the most recent bang. My hands are shaking. I push the door open and see my empty room. I take a deep breath. Who's there? Like whatever this thing is would even answer. You know what? Fuck it. I run downstairs and jump on the living room sofa, close my eyes, and before I know it, it's morning. August 24th, 2016. I convince myself it's time to tell my parents. They didn't laugh, shockingly, but I can tell they don't believe me. My mom tells me I am just stressed and sleep deprived. My dad says it's all in my head, and the more I worry about falling out of the bed at night, the more I likely will. Since when is he some kind of psychologist? As nighttime draws near, I decide it's best to sleep on the sofa in the living room for a few nights. At least the floor is carpeted there, so if I do fall, it won't hurt as much. And maybe, whatever has been bothering me, is it in my head, will leave me alone. So that's what I do. I clean the area around the living room sofa. I bring my pillow and blanket down and lie down right as my dad walks in. What are you doing? I think I need a change of scenery or something like that. Maybe it will help me sleep better. I just don't want to be in my room right now. You're being ridiculous. Go back upstairs. I look at the sofa, which already has my pillow and blanket on it. Maybe he's right. Maybe... No, I abruptly tell him. This is just for the night, please. My dad sighs and heads back upstairs. I lay my head on the pillow and shut my eyes. Hours later, I wake up naturally for a change. Once again, I need to use the bathroom. I take a deep breath and make my way upstairs. I leave the bathroom door open while I pee. As I hit flush and wash my hands, I can hear something coming from downstairs. Footsteps? But it's carpeted down there. I walk back downstairs to the living room to find my blanket and pillow are on the floor, not where I left them. As I bend down to pick them up, I hear the sound again. This time, the noises are closer together and louder. I abruptly turn around to see my kitchen light on. Suddenly, there are more footsteps. My mind enters fight or flight mode, and with all my strength, I enter the kitchen to find it completely empty. Who are you? Where are you? What do you want? More footsteps come down the stairs as I hear my mother's voice again. Trevor? What's wrong? What's going on? Oh no. Shut up! Shut up! Leave me alone! A figure enters the kitchen, and I am relieved to see it's my mother. I take a few deep breaths and look around the kitchen. It's a wreck. Plates broken on the floor, chairs have been pushed over, and cutlery is everywhere. Trevor, what happened? I freeze. Mom? It's the only thing I can manage to say. That's the last thing I remember. August 28th, 2016. They're saying it was a severe anxiety attack, but it wasn't. They're saying I'm a threat to my parents. I'm not. They think I'm suicidal. It's not that. They think keeping me in a hospital for a few days will be a magic cure. It won't. Something is after me, and nothing will change my mind and make me think otherwise. Why would hiding me away here make a difference? Here's a severely anxious and delusional person. Let's shove them in a hospital. What could go wrong? I refuse to sleep. I don't even close my eyes anymore because that's when it comes out. That's when it finds me. I've been evaluated a few times, and from what I hear, I will be going home soon. Home is the last place I want to be. I can feel it getting closer with every night, and one day soon, it will come for me. August 30th, 2016. Sitting in the car on the way home makes me nauseous. As we arrive, I get out of the car and immediately vomit. My parents look concerned. I've given up at this point. I watch the hours on the clock. 7 p.m. turns to 8. 8 turns to 9. 9 turns to 10. Before I know it, my parents are asleep. I take a look at myself in the mirror. What a mess. There's still some vomit on my shirt. My eyes are dark and bloodshot. My hands are shaking. Still, I go through my routine. There is nothing in my closet, nothing under my bed, and nobody in the room with me. I repeat this a few times, even though I don't believe it. Maybe if I keep saying it, I will eventually believe myself. There is nobody in the room with me. There is nobody in the room with me. There is nobody. My closet creaks open. I slam it shut and go to bed. August 31st, 2016. Have you ever experienced a lucid dream? What a strange phenomenon. I am aware I am dreaming, therefore I can control anything. I can fly, become invisible, anything I want. So what do I choose to do during this lucid dream? Sleep in peace. Yet suddenly I can see a bird's eye view of a man in bed, snug under covers. He is tossing and turning, sweating bullets, yelling out in his sleep. Demonic hands suddenly appear and shove him out of his bed. Wait, that person I was watching, was it me? Then I was pushed? I try to get out from under my sheets, but something is holding me down. I scream for my parents like a 7-year-old child. Mom? Dad? Nothing. I can see a silhouette of the same demonic hand over my sheets. I struggle to get out of its grasp, but I am stuck. Suddenly, the silhouette disappears and I escape my sheets. I untangle myself and stand up. The sleep deprivation has gotten to me. I am seeing double. I turn around. As I look back, I can feel the same burst of cool air on my back. Suddenly the noise stops. There is a sudden sharp pain in my shoulders as something grasps me with full might and throws me into the closet. The door slams shut. I frantically bang on it. Help me! I bang as loud as I can and struggle with the door. Finally, it opens and I am face to face with it. It found me. March 1st, 2019. Scott was cleaning out his son's closet for the first time since he tragically passed away from unexpected heart failure when he found a journal covered in a layer of dust. Journey to Conquering a Good Night's Sleep, it read. The first entry was dated August 4th from a few years earlier. Every now and then I fall out of bed at night. It began. Entranced, Scott read through every entry, fighting back tears. He had discussed his son's issues with his wife before, but now it was evident they should have sought help sooner. He thought about showing his wife, but decided it was best to just leave it be. She was struggling enough. He puts the journal back where he found it and closes his closet door, just the way he always likes it. As he walks away, the closet door creeps open again. Scott turns around, but inevitably decides to ignore it. As he gets ready for bed, he can't shake some of the descriptions his son had used in his journal. Dark figures, demonic hands. What was really going on in his son's head? His wife joins him in bed, and they turn off the light. Every day, things get a little better. That night, Scott woke up on the floor, having fallen out of his bed for the first time since he was a child.